Imagine this. You're standing on the rocky shoreline of the Pacific Northwest, surrounded by towering ancient cedars and the misty air of the Great Bear Rainforest. The only sounds are the gentle lapping of waves against the shore and the distant call of a seabird. Suddenly the calm surface of the water breaks. A large, powerful head emerges, sleek and black, followed by massive shoulders that ripple with muscle. It's not a seal or a sea lion, it's a bear. A coastal black bear, swimming with an astonishing grace and power that seems almost out of place for such a massive land animal. This incredible creature is making its way from a distant island, using the ocean as its personal highway, a behavior that has earned it the legendary name, sea bear. This is not a scene from a fantasy novel, it's a real-life spectacle that unfolds daily along this wild and remote coastline. The bear pulls itself from the frigid water, shaking a shower of salt water from its thick, dark fur. It doesn't pause for long. With a purpose-driven stride, it begins to patrol the intertidal zone, the rich area between the high and low tide marks. It turns over large rocks with an effortless flick of its powerful paws, searching for the hidden treasures beneath. This is a bear that is perfectly in tune with its environment, a master of both the dense, temperate rainforest behind it and the bountiful ocean before it. What an unbelievable display of adaptation. It's a moment that truly connects you to the wild heart of our planet. Seeing a bear emerge from the ocean challenges everything you thought you knew about these animals. We often picture black bears high in the mountains foraging for berries or wandering through inland forests. But here on this rugged coast, they have become something more, something different. They are a testament to nature's incredible ability to adapt and thrive in diverse environments. These coastal bears have carved out a unique existence, one that is intrinsically linked to the rhythms of the sea. They are living proof that the line between land and marine ecosystems is often beautifully blurred, creating opportunities for incredible creatures like this to flourish in ways we are only just beginning to fully understand. The sight of this sea bear, confidently navigating its coastal world, is a powerful reminder of the untamed wilderness that still exists on Earth. It's a vision of strength, resilience, and perfect harmony with a challenging yet generous environment. This is not just any black bear, it is a coastal black bear, a true sea bear of the Pacific. Its story is one of adaptation, survival, and a deep, ancient connection to the ocean. To witness it is to witness one of nature's most impressive success stories, a bear that has truly made the edge of the world its kingdom. Let's dive in and explore what makes these bears so incredibly special. So, what exactly sets a coastal black bear apart from its inland cousins? While they are technically the same species, Ursus americanus, the differences in their lifestyle, diet, and even their physical size are absolutely astounding. Think of it like this. You could have two twins, but if one grows up on a farm eating fresh vegetables and the other grows up in the city, their lives and even their health might be very different. It's the same principle here, but on a grand evolutionary scale. The coastal environment has shaped these bears into something truly unique, a specialized predator and forager that lives and breathes by the ocean's clock. It's a fantastic example of how environment drives adaptation. The most significant difference lies in their diet, which we'll explore more later, but this diet has a direct impact on their biology. Coastal black bears have consistent access to high-protein, high-fat food sources like salmon and marine invertebrates. This rich diet allows them to grow significantly larger than black bears living in the interior of the continent. A big male coastal black bear can tip the scales at over 600 pounds, making it a truly formidable animal. Their inland relatives, who often rely on a diet of plants, berries, and insects, simply don't have access to the same level of calories and protein, and are therefore generally smaller in stature. It's all about the quality of the groceries available in their neighborhood. Beyond size, their entire behavior is different. Inland bears often have vast territories they must roam to find enough food, and they might spend much of their time in a state of energy conservation. Coastal bears, however, have a veritable buffet at their doorstep. Their home ranges can be smaller because the food is so concentrated along the coastline and in the salmon-rich rivers. This leads to different social dynamics and a life that is less about scarcity and more about capitalizing on seasonal abundance. They have become experts at reading the tides and predicting the salmon runs, skills that an inland bear would never need to learn. They are, in every sense, coastal specialists. This specialization is so profound that scientists are even looking into the genetic differences between these populations. Years of living in this unique coastal niche may have led to subtle genetic markers that distinguish them from other black bears. Their ability to digest marine fats, their unique foraging behaviors, and their tolerance for a high-salt environment are all traits that suggest a long history of adaptation. They aren't just black bears that happen to live by the sea, they are sea bears, a distinct ecotype shaped by the powerful forces of the Pacific Ocean. It's a remarkable story of evolution happening right before our eyes. To truly understand the coastal black bear, you have to understand its home. And what a home it is. We're talking about the Pacific Northwest coast of North America, a breathtakingly beautiful and rugged landscape that stretches from Northern California, up through Oregon, Washington, British Columbia, and into Southeast Alaska. This is not your average woodland. This is the Great Bear Rainforest, the largest intact temperate rainforest left on the planet. It's a world of ancient moss-draped cedar and spruce trees that can be over 1,000 years old, creating a dense green canopy that feels like a living cathedral. It's a place where mist and rain are constant companions, feeding a lush undergrowth of ferns and shrubs. But this rainforest has a very special neighbor, the Pacific Ocean. The coastline here is not a simple straight line. It's a complex and dramatic maze of deep fjords, rocky headlands, sheltered inlets, and thousands of islands, both large and small. This intricate shoreline creates an enormous amount of edge habitat, the zone where the forest meets the sea. This intertidal zone is an ecosystem in itself, teeming with life. At low tide, a massive banquet is revealed. Mussels, barnacles, clams, crabs, and small fish are all trapped in tide pools or exposed on the rocks. For a coastal black bear, this is like having a fully stocked refrigerator that refills itself twice a day, every single day. This combination of dense forest and a productive marine environment is the perfect recipe for supporting a healthy bear population. The forest provides them with shelter and security. They can create their dens for winter hibernation in the hollows of ancient trees, or in protected caves within the forest. It also offers supplemental food sources like berries, roots, and vegetation, especially during the spring and early summer before the main marine food sources become available. The forest is their sanctuary, their bedroom, and their pantry for part of the year. It's the safe haven they can always retreat to after a busy day foraging along the coast. The ocean, on the other hand, is their primary dining room. It delivers the high-powered fuel they need to thrive. The cold, nutrient-rich waters of the Pacific support an incredible web of life, from the smallest plankton to the largest whales. For the bears, the most important gifts from the sea are the annual salmon runs and the year-round bounty of the intertidal zone. This dual ecosystem living is what makes their habitat so special and so productive. They have the best of both worlds, the safety and resources of one of the world's richest forests combined with the limitless protein of the ocean. It's this unique geography that has allowed the sea bear to become the magnificent animal it is today. The secret to the impressive size and robust health of the coastal black bear is no secret at all. It's written on their menu. Their diet is a fantastic example of how animals can adapt to take advantage of rich, seasonal food sources. While inland black bears are true omnivores eating a wide variety of plants, nuts, berries, and insects, coastal black bears have shifted their diet to become heavily reliant on the ocean. This marine-based diet is packed with protein and fatty acids, the perfect fuel for building a bigger, stronger bear. It's like they've discovered the ultimate superfood, and it's delivered right to their doorstep by the tides. The star of their marine buffet is, without a doubt, the mighty salmon. Every year, millions of salmon return from the open ocean to the coastal rivers and streams where they were born, on a mission to spawn and complete their life cycle. For the bears, this is the season of feasting. They gather along the rivers, displaying an incredible range of fishing techniques. Some bears will stand patiently in a shallow riffle, waiting to pin a passing fish to the riverbed with their paws. Others will stand on rocks or logs overlooking deeper pools, plunging their heads into the water to snatch a fish. It's an all-you-can-eat salmon bonanza, and the bears take full advantage of it. But salmon is not the only thing on the menu. Long before the salmon arrive and long after they're gone, the bears have another reliable food source: the intertidal zone. At low tide, the bears become beachcombers, methodically patrolling the shoreline. They use their immense strength to roll over heavy rocks, some weighing hundreds of pounds, to get at the tasty critters hiding underneath. They're searching for protein-rich snacks like shore crabs, mussels, barnacles, and clams. They'll also dig in the sand and mud for ghost shrimp and other burrowing invertebrates. This behavior is so consistent and important that you can often see well-worn bear trails leading from the forest edge directly to the best foraging spots on the beach. This diet does more than just make them big, it makes them incredibly healthy. The omega-3 fatty acids found in salmon and other marine life are just as good for bears as they are for humans. This contributes to healthier coats, better joint health, and the ability to pack on the necessary fat reserves to survive the long winter hibernation. Studies have shown that the hair of these bears contains marine-derived nitrogen, scientific proof of just how much of their diet comes from the sea. They are, in a very real sense, what they eat, and what they eat is the bounty of the Pacific Ocean. Their unique diet is the cornerstone of their existence. One of the most awe-inspiring traits of the coastal black bear is its incredible swimming ability. These are not just bears that can tolerate water. They are powerful, confident swimmers that actively use the ocean to navigate their complex environment. The coastline of the Great Bear Rainforest is a fragmented landscape of islands and inlets. And for a bear, being able to swim is not just a convenience, it's a crucial survival skill. It allows them to move between different territories, find new food sources, and even escape from danger. They are true island hoppers, using the marine channels and straits as their own personal ferry system. Witnessing a black bear swimming in the open ocean is a sight you will never forget. They move through the water with surprising speed and efficiency, using their powerful front legs to pull themselves forward in a dog paddle style. Their dense, oily fur provides excellent insulation against the cold Pacific water and adds to their buoyancy. They have been documented swimming distances of several miles in open water, moving from the mainland to an offshore island or between islands in an archipelago. This ability dramatically expands their home range and gives them access to resources that would be completely out of reach for a purely land-based animal. It's an amazing adaptation to their island world. This swimming prowess allows them to take advantage of food sources on remote, uninhabited islands. An island might have a rich berry patch that hasn't been touched, or a small stream with its own salmon run. For a sea bear, these isolated pockets of food are just a short swim away. This also helps to ensure genetic diversity within the bear population. By moving between islands, bears from different family groups can meet and mate, preventing the population from becoming isolated and inbred. The ocean, which might seem like a barrier to us, is actually a corridor for these bears, connecting their world together in a way that is vital for their long-term survival. Their ability to swim also plays a role in their social lives. A large, dominant male might be displaced by a younger, stronger rival. Instead of being forced into poor habitat on the mainland, he can simply swim to a nearby island and establish a new territory for himself. Similarly, a young bear leaving its mother for the first time can swim to a new area to find its own space, reducing competition and conflict. They are not trapped by geography, they are empowered by it. Their mastery of the water transforms the challenging coastal landscape from a series of obstacles into a world of opportunities. These bears truly are the mariners of the forest. For the coastal black bear, life is governed by a different clock than their inland counterparts. Instead of just the changing seasons, their daily and seasonal activities are dictated by the powerful and predictable rhythm of the ocean tides. The rise and fall of the sea, which happens twice a day, sets the schedule for one of their most important activities: foraging in the intertidal zone. A bear living hundreds of miles from the coast has no concept of this, but for the sea bear, it is the fundamental pulse of their existence. Their internal clocks are perfectly synchronized with the tidal charts of the Pacific. When the tide is high, the bears often retreat into the dense forest. This is a time for resting, digesting their previous meal, or moving between different parts of their territory under the cover of the trees. They might nap in a cool, mossy daybed or browse on some vegetation. But as the water begins to recede, you can see a change in their behavior. They become more alert and active. They know that the falling tide is unveiling their dining table. As soon as the water is low enough to expose the rocky shoreline, they emerge from the forest and begin their patient patrol, ready to take advantage of the window of opportunity before the tide turns and floods the area once again. This tidal influence extends beyond just their daily feeding schedule. It shapes their entire foraging strategy and their knowledge of the landscape. Experienced bears know the best spots, the specific sections of shoreline that have the most mussels, or the particular cluster of rocks that shelters the most crabs. They learn the topography of the intertidal zone as intimately as they know the trails in the forest. They understand that different tidal heights expose different resources, and they time their movements accordingly. This is a complex, learned behavior passed down from mother to cub, a form of coastal wisdom that is essential for survival. The seasonal cycles of the ocean also play a massive role. The bear's entire year is structured around capitalizing on peaks of marine productivity. In the spring, they might focus on emerging green vegetation and the early bounty of the intertidal zone. By late summer and fall, their attention shifts almost entirely to the rivers as they await the great salmon migration. This is the most critical time of year, as they must consume thousands of calories a day to build up enough fat to survive the winter. Their lives are a beautiful dance between the forest and the sea, orchestrated by the timeless rhythms of the tide and the seasons. The world of the coastal black bear is a stunning blend of two vastly different yet deeply interconnected ecosystems, the temperate rainforest and the Pacific Ocean. It is in this dynamic zone of overlap where they have found their perfect niche. This unique environment provides everything they need not just to survive but to truly prosper. The forest offers sanctuary, denning sites, and a variety of plant-based foods. The ocean provides a high-energy, protein-rich diet that fuels their impressive size and health. It is this combination, this marriage of forest and sea, that defines the life of a sea bear and makes their story so compelling. The forest itself is a critical component of their survival. The ancient, towering trees provide more than just a backdrop. They are functional parts of the bear's habitat. The massive root systems of old-growth cedars and spruce trees create stable, dry cavities underneath, which are perfect locations for winter dens. These dens insulate the bears from the cold, wet coastal winters, allowing them to hibernate safely until spring arrives. The forest floor with its deep layers of moss and soil also provides a soft and quiet place for them to rest during the day, hidden from potential threats and the heat of the sun. It is their safe harbor. Simultaneously, the ocean is their engine. The constant flow of nutrients from the sea enriches the entire coastal ecosystem. When the bears catch salmon in the rivers, they often carry the fish carcasses deep into the forest to eat them in private. The leftover remains, bones, skin, and scraps of flesh, are left on the forest floor. These marine-derived nutrients are then absorbed by the soil, providing a powerful fertilizer for the trees and plants. Scientists have actually traced nitrogen from the ocean into the growth rings of the ancient trees, proving that the bears act as a vital link, transporting the wealth of the ocean into the heart of the forest. This incredible connection highlights the sea bear's role as a keystone species. Their actions directly shape the health and structure of their environment. By enriching the forest soil, they help the very trees that provide them with shelter. It's a perfect, self-sustaining loop of ecological engineering. This beautiful symbiosis between the rainforest and the ocean is what has allowed this unique population of bears to flourish for millennia. They are not just living in two separate worlds, they are the bridge that connects them, creating a richer, more resilient ecosystem for all the other species that share their home. What an amazing relationship. Despite their incredible resilience and adaptability, the coastal black bears and their pristine habitat face a growing number of serious threats. The wild coast that has sustained them for thousands of years is now under pressure from human activities and a changing global climate. One of the most significant challenges is habitat loss and fragmentation. As human populations expand, logging, mining, and coastal development are encroaching on the ancient rainforests. When large tracts of old-growth forest are cut down, the bears lose not only their food sources but also the critical denning sites they need to survive the winter. It's like having your home and your grocery store bulldozed at the same time. Climate change is another major threat that looms over the future of the sea bear. Warmer ocean temperatures can disrupt the marine food web, potentially impacting the health and numbers of the salmon populations that the bears depend on so heavily. A poor salmon run can have devastating consequences, leading to lower body weights, reduced reproductive success, and even starvation for the bears. Changes in rainfall patterns and warmer winters can also affect the vegetation in the forest and the timing of hibernation. The delicate balance that these bears rely on is being thrown into disarray by forces far beyond their control. Direct conflict with humans is also a growing concern. As more people move into and recreate in coastal areas, the chances of human-bear encounters increase. While coastal black bears are generally shy and avoid humans, conflicts can arise over food attractants like garbage, pet food, or barbecue grills. These situations are dangerous for both people and bears, and too often, they result in the bear being destroyed. Trophy hunting also remains a threat in some parts of their range, targeting the largest and healthiest bears, which are often the most important individuals for the population's long-term success. It's a tragic end for such a magnificent animal. The cumulative impact of these threats is putting the entire coastal ecosystem at risk. The fate of the sea bear is inextricably linked to the fate of the Great Bear Rainforest and the health of the Pacific Ocean. Protecting these bears means protecting the whole system, the ancient trees, the clean rivers, and the abundant salmon runs. It requires us to make thoughtful decisions about resource management, climate policy, and how we choose to coexist with wildlife. The challenges are significant, but the future of this iconic animal and its irreplaceable home depends on our willingness to face them. The coastal black bear is so much more than just a fascinating animal. It is a vital part of the fabric of the Great Bear Rainforest. As a keystone species, its presence and actions have a ripple effect that supports the health and diversity of the entire ecosystem. We've talked about how they act as nutrient vectors, carrying the richness of the ocean deep into the forest. This single act of carrying salmon inland fertilizes the soil, which in turn helps the giant trees grow, which then provide habitat for countless other species, from birds and insects to other mammals. The bear is truly a gardener of the ancient forest. Their role as a keystone species extends to their foraging habits as well. When they turn over rocks in the intertidal zone, they create microhabitats and expose food for smaller animals like birds and martins that follow in their wake. When they dig for roots or insects in the forest, they aerate the soil, which helps with plant growth. They are ecological engineers, constantly shaping and modifying their environment in ways that create opportunities for other species to thrive. The health of the bear population is a direct indicator of the health of the entire coastal ecosystem. When the bears are doing well, it means the salmon are running, the forest is intact, and the ocean is productive. Because of this, the coastal black bear has become a powerful symbol for conservation efforts along the Pacific Northwest coast. They are a flagship species, an iconic animal that people can connect with emotionally, helping to rally support for protecting their entire habitat. When we fight to protect the sea bear, we are also fighting to protect the ancient cedars, the wild salmon, the marbled murrelets, the coastal wolves, and all the other life that depends on this unique ecosystem. The bear is the face of one of the last great wilderness areas on our planet, a charismatic ambassador for a world that is rapidly disappearing. Ultimately, the story of the coastal black bear is a story of resilience, adaptation, and the profound connection between land and sea. It's a story that urges us to look at the world with a greater sense of wonder and a deeper commitment to conservation. Protecting these bears and their wild coast is not just about saving a single species, it's about preserving a functioning, intact ecosystem that provides clean air, clean water, and a living laboratory for understanding how our natural world works. It's about ensuring that future generations can also have the chance to stand on a misty shoreline and witness the incredible sight of a sea bear emerging from the waves. That's a future worth fighting for.